Dolos, we have always looked to the stars, taking a fascination in the hope that can be found in the heavens for humankind.
The aftermath of the moon explosion caused during their engine launch.
Decisive action from scientists and politicians across the world.
We are always focused on adaptation, progression, and preserving the future of humanity, no matter the challenge that faces us.
Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to IXION, our space city builder. It's been a little bit of while since I've last played this, so forgive me if I am forgetting some things. But we ended with our third jump, I believe it technically is. They were hunted, the protagonist was, and it, oh my word. The destroyed command center of the Entamenanki is before us, and it is absolutely gargantuan. Like, holy cow. Absolutely incredible. So what we need to do, we need to figure out everything that's going on there. But also, I couldn't help but notice that there's a gigantic storm here. And as a result of that, I don't know what's going to happen with it. I don't know if it'll stay there or what, but we need to figure out what's going on. We need to probably go ahead and launch a probe. I imagine, yeah, all of these little things are things that we need to work on. So let's go ahead. Oh, there's not an active probe launcher. That is correct. So let's go figure that out real quick. But welcome everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We are sort of in a good place. I'd say overall, we are in a good place. We just have to get things figured out and get all the things going. Our probe launcher is ready to rumble. You know what? We have stuff to figure out. So let's just go after some iron. Is there a place for all three? There is. Let me just finagle. We are going to let these guys get in command, and what we are going to do, did you continue to difference? A lot of strikes are there. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Unfortunate, but that's okay. What we need to work on is things. Okay, we have self-wielding. We have improvised. This is one of the things, the dangerous weather conditions is what I was most concerned about. So what we need to focus on now is, I think I was doing a little bit of poking around on what we need to work on. And I noticed that if we get reorganization of care, it unlocks additional beds, which increases the capacity of housing by 30%. And then it increases and increases and increases. So we need to work on that, but there are also things that we have to figure out. Another one of them being advanced logistics. I think that's what we're going to work on immediately, because it will allow us to encompass more people in a singular space, which is what we need to work on, because I need to get this deactivated to expand, because at its current point, I don't think we're going to quite have enough food to get us through. That's just a reality that we're having to deal with. And we're also still creating capacities for everything that we're doing overall. And so you'll notice in Sector 6, for instance, we have a lot of people dying, essentially. Let's go ahead and take a look-see here. Okay, let's do 50 food here. We're going to do 50 food there. And we're going to do 50 food here, just so everyone is aware. And that should get food shifted around everywhere that it needs to go. And yeah, we'll get everything figured out from there. We are going to send the Medusa over to the destroyed command center. They're going to start taking over that science. What do we got? The crew are encouraged by how many survivors we brought aboard the Tycoon. To the increase to population reinforces the feeling that our goal of saving humanity is achievable. Part of something bigger than themselves. Trust increased by 10. That's very important that we really need that. Oh, pretty daggum desperately. What do we need here? We need 94 food to feed everyone. And that's because we have a policy for generous food. We are going to go down to stability normal, which will reduce the stability here. But that means we only need 66. And so when that tech comes through, this is a meal cycle, so we'll let that meal cycle happen. But then we'll disengage and we'll start building up more there once we can. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to need to do. The only negative here is because we have so many people starving, which we're hopefully figuring out rather quickly. Nice. A probe has completed its scan. Okay, and we've got... Yeah, I've just been so long since I've looked at all this stuff. Yeah, we've got lots of people going after that iron. We have lots of crew dying as well, which is not a good thing whatsoever. But let's go ahead and take a look over here and see what happens there. We've soaked up all of the research we can. Although the command center of the Entamenanki is heavily armored, the structure had suffered terrible bombardment. It appears as if something sliced through the larger superstructure of the Entamenanki. This must have dislodged the center and separated it from the rest of the ship. Numerous pieces of debris and corpses float about the ruin. We've located a breach within the armor plating that should allow us to get inside. Gross. Sector's being overworked. We got it. We'll get that figured out here in just a second. All right, and we have the collapsed food production district, and the Heisenberg can go over and investigate that. All right, who's being overworked? Sector 6 is being overworked, but we also need more housing. Okay, why? Oh, we don't have a science center. Son of a biscuit. Let's go. Where is it? There we go. We need a daggum tech lab. Son of a biscuit. I forgot about that. Let's see. I can fit another maintenance bay there. So we're gonna put that guy there and pray for the best. Oh, that sucks. I completely forgot we don't have a tech center. A sector is converted to the cult of the whole. This has a positive effect on the morale. Converts are waiting to hear your opinion. Sanctifying the Tycoon and its facilities does not directly violate any Dolos directives. Embrace the writings of Barhaville. The Tycoon is a body, the whole is its skin, and we are its blood. Sure thing. Sure thing. I'm okay with that. We got another thing over here. The debris field we've entered is mostly composed of corpses. The floating bodies bump against the hull, create sounds that reverberate the Tycoon sectors. That's messed up. This is not providing beneficial to crew morale. DLS reports the EVA crews are discussing their experiences working outside the Tycoon with colleagues in mess halls, compounding the problem. Are you serious right now? Is that like a real thing? Oh, if that's the case, that's awful. That's awful. Okay. So we need to get supplies over to here as quickly as possible, so that way we can get...
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Okay, and the science ship has arrived elsewhere. Let's get... Oh my word. I think we're gonna have to do some cell housing, but it's so expensive. It's so expensive. I'm almost wondering if I couldn't build one of those. And at least for now, do something like that to get in a few spaces. But what we're going to have to do, they're down by 50. We're going to have to transfer workers from Sector 2 to Sector 6. And then our sensors have located a section of the Entamenanki drifting in the vacuum of space. Our initial readings are reading a lot of organic debris. We're on site. This part of the Entamenanki was responsible for the ship's food production. Production was divided into two zones, vegetal and animal. We've also identified a self-contained area generating a heat signature. The area is small, but not impossible that some survivors may be sheltered. Let's investigate the vegetal zone.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
I'm really not surprised. let's take a look here. We've got a decent amount. There we go. That works for me. This is pretty much being extracted as fast as it can, which is great. That means our iron production is going to skyrocket, which is exactly what we need. And we actually don't need stuff there. We need more population here. I didn't realize that. There's so much going on right now. The destroyed command center. The frozen rooms through which the Medusa's team have had to investigate or navigate are a nightmare. Projectile damage covers most surfaces. There are signs of electrical fires having raged throughout the corridors. This is not to discount the ever-present grim sight of severed corpses. Upon entering the bridge, the team discovered the bodies of the commander-in-chief and other officers. It appears they took their own lives. We must retrieve the Remus data. The Tycoon should be kept in close proximity. This will allow the Medusa's team to use the station's power via the retractable telescopic pole and access the Cinder's terminals. Yep. We'll recover that. Cool. Awesome. We got more stuff there, which is great. What we need to worry about is... I feel like we need to try and get as much stuff done here, but I see other pieces here. So what we maybe need to do is see if there are other planetary bodies to go after. Like, I wonder if that would make it. Maybe it wouldn't. There's another scientific thing. We're going to explore locally first. It makes the most sense. All right, now we are in Sector 1, which has the most food. We just reduced the policies there. Let's see. Corpses floating outside the station. Yeah, I see that. I see that. We're now at extra hours, though, which isn't that bad. And we're getting a decent number of people fed. It's not fantastic, but it's not the worst either. And they're still happy in Sector 2, which is good. The ruins, we are what we eat. Let's take a look-see. Drilling through several layers of debris, the Heisenberg's team finally reached the vegetable, goodness gracious, production area. They were greeted by the floating corpses of UN soldiers and crew. A few district workers seem to have reached emergency cryopods before depressurization. Hydroponic technology was used on board the Entamenanki to grow fruits and vegetables in large vertical aisles. Recovered yield report details how hierarchical rationing reserved the rarest of fruits for high-ranking crew members. Although the remaining food production facilities are unusable, a few intact storage containers were found by the team. Retrieved resources have been prepared for extraction. We've also unlocked personalized instructions for the crop farm. We are going to investigate the animal pens. We're also going to continue to look at these places out here. All right, so we're launching that, which is all well and good. Let's go ahead and have... let's have you guys focus on grabbing that food. Yeah, because we currently have 0. That's super duper cool. I love that. Mealtime is over with. I'm going to disassemble this. We have to get to work on expanding our crop production. That's being made, which is great. We'll go back to the commander center. Administrator, the Remus coordinates aren't here. As you know, Vol coordinates are incredibly complex algorithms that require advanced tech for their storage and application. We did identify a storage area within the command center, perhaps including those stolen from the Protagoras. They should have been held there. It's been ripped away, shorn by cutting lasers, and taken. There is some small hope. A single damaged calculator terminal was found. Powered supply from the Tycoon has allowed us to access it. It appears that in the Entamenanki's final moments, while they attempted to address the colossal damage done to their ship, the crew were able to identify and record the self-similar signature of the attacker as it withdrew. Perhaps they hoped to later mount some sort of pursuit to recover the stolen coordinates of Remus. We are now in possession of that signature. It belongs to the Piranesi, a ship of the Black Market Society. Interesting. This is where our hope fades. The few officers' logs we found detail the attack are terrifying. Seems highly likely the coordinates of Remus are now on board the Piranesi. Having processed the data we found within the center, and thanks to old recordings of the now inactive stress signals, we've been able to locate other parts of the Entamenanki which have drifted across the system. Yeah, we'll go ahead and investigate the attacks further. So yeah, I think that's what these are. Which is kind of bonkers if you think about it. So we have a lot of work we've got to do. We've discovered all of that stuff. We've got lots of water. We got loads of silicone. You know what? Let's go ahead and go after some ice. I think that's worthwhile. All right, so that's been taken out. We can now successfully add on to there. And as soon as that's done, we'll start researching. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go ahead and destroy that. Because I think I can actually fit. I can. Cool. We can fit 3 there, which should solve that space problem. Actually, yeah, they do have a little bit of a space problem. These guys have a bigger space problem, but there's nothing I can do about that. And then we can harvest stuff here, correct? Oof, okay. But everyone's happy here, so we could at least do waste once we set the policy. Because we have waste going here, which is feeding the waste treatment center, which is currently making electronics, but we could have it make alloy instead. Where did we scan? Oh, nice. We got ice and stuff. Cool. All right, we've got lots of stuff going on. Goodness gracious. Okay, I get it. What else do we got? We got other scientific anomalies. We do. I should see if we can even make one there. Okay. An explosion has occurred. Goodness gracious, Sector 1 is in trouble. The animosity between former crew members of the Protagoras and Entamenanki have become a problem. Accommodating survivors from both crews together in the Tycoon threatens the stabilization of the station. Initiate population transfer. 100 crew members will move from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Oof. We're already at working hours. Relocate 100 crew members. You know what? We can do that. Only non-workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Going to cause a little bit of an issue here. But overall, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. We are reaching the maximum of our limits there. 225 polymer and 4. Yeah, we'll just have to do it. I do believe there is plenty. Yes, there is plenty of carbon in space. So we're definitely going to have them work on that. And then we're working on bringing in food. We need people to start bringing in. All right. Production area has been gutted for several hundred meters. Did I hear a dog? The huge amount of floating carcasses made it difficult for the team to differentiate between what is animal and what is not. The team did find several working cryopods, have prepared these for extraction. Production seemed mainly to have been galliform, though there are signs that rarer meats were produced. I don't know what galliform is. The Heisenberg's team wishes to specifically note they found a cryopod containing a dog. The owner seems to have decided the animal's life was more important than their own. Their corpses hang to the pod. Yes, provide a new home for the dog. Absolutely. Duh. All right, now we're angry. Why are we angry? A lot of people are starving. Well, that's understandable to a degree. We shouldn't be having these large-scale issues, though. Advanced logistics is great. We can now feed 600 crew members. So these guys are actually good for a while. These guys are perfectly fine. We actually don't even need one of these mess halls. So I'm going to disassemble it. Let's take a look here. The crop farm. The industrial enzyme upgrade is required. Technology tier 3 and intelligent design. I'm wondering if we need to go ahead and do accelerated growth. Let's go ahead and do accelerated growth and we'll go from there. As the Entamenanki paused in the Crook system, it was surprised and attacked by the Piranesi. Reports indicate colossal casualties. The UN crew was able to find a flaw in the Piranesi's defense systems and managed to mount a boarding assault. The Pyrenees responded by firing its main weapon before fleeing the system. The last survivors of the attack, who could not enter cryopods, either died from the cold or slowly asphyxiated in the days that followed. That's awful. We'll go ahead and determine the Entamenanki's previous mission objectives, and we'll go from there. We still have a probe going there, but I did see a scientific anomaly over here. We'll see if that reaches it as well. And then we're working on building up all of that stuff. We should probably get tech rolling a little bit faster on top of it. That's being built, which is fantastic. We could build a battery here. So I can dismember this one. We're not going anywhere with it, so I'm okay with doing that. We can't roll that thing on just yet, and the reason being is because we haven't built the outer core thing. Okay, a probe has been lost due to space weather. All right, so that's the probe that's over there. Probe that's over there. Something tells me that we need to worry about this storm. Did not expect the decision. I remind you that Dolos regulations prohibit animals aboard the Tycoon. I do postulate, however, that the animal's presence may be good for morale. Of course. Do we make a cautious approach or do we invasively breach? We're gonna invasively breach. I don't usually do that, but I think it'll work. Workshop's been wrecked. Okay. We are angry all over the place. And it's because we're still starving. We should be able to fix that with the next meal cycle. No one's starving here, and we realize that. No one should be starving here, but they don't seem to realize that. Do we not have an infirmary here? We do have an infirmary. Which is very interesting. Conditions danger. Okay, well let's... transfer workers from Section 2 to Sector 6. And hope that that fixes things. Lots of crew members have died, and I don't know what we can do to avoid that either. Okay, so the probes aren't making it through. We need... Okay. By powering the command center, the Medusa's team was able to extract and analyze core mission data. The Entamenanki was a UN ship initially launched to find other exoplanets. Early data logs from their voyage indicate a glaring lack of preparation to accomplish such a task. In the absence of habitable exoplanets, they seem to have concentrated on the search for what the UN had designated as enemies of humanity, which is Dolos and the Ashtangites. By boarding the Protagoras, the Entamenanki was able to locate Remus. Ooh. Leave the ruins of the command center. Awesome. We're all being overworked. Inconsistencies were detected with the crew member. Shh. Quiet. After reviewing the data, found that the crew member is actually a dog, a borzoi to be exact. I have not discovered how it came to be on board. Its mere presence violates several health protocols. Decision must be made. We are going to recognize the dog as a member of the crew. Nice. That's what I thought would happen. That's half the reason. Plus, I absolutely love dogs. So that's made everyone happy. Okay, that's okay. We'll get it worked out. Let's go ahead and build another one there. We are still losing food. And we're losing food on like a massive scale too. I'm not quite sure what to do about that. It appears we've unlocked the reorganization of care. Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, no, we're doing it. It's just not showing it. There we go. The science ship has retrieved all the science from the destroyed command center. Let's go ahead and move the Medusa to the industrial zone or the reactor wreckage. We'll go industrial zone. Upon breach in the area, the crew discovered the corpse of a young soldier. Their diary indicates they were partway through some type of rite of passage when the Entamenanki was attacked. They found themselves trapped in this area with some engineers. There are signs of cannibalism on the remains of the few other corpses. Further diary entries portray an individual sinking into dementia, blaming Dolos and the Ashtingites for the misfortunes that had befallen them and for the loss of the Earth. The team has concluded that it was a place of indoctrination for the surrounding production zone workers. Remains of a statue dedicated to the glory of the Entamenanki commanders were found, as well as other art pieces aimed at condemning the enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtingites. All right, we'll leave the wreckage. I sent the Medusa there. The Heisenberg, you'll come over to the reactor wreckage. There we are. So we have a destroyed docking bay. We have a habitation sector wreckage. Initial readings indicate a large amount of floating debris. Those are going to be bodies. We've also detected heat signatures, electromagnetic emissions, and a weak radio signal. The medical district. Ooh, that's going to be bad. Depressurized R&D. Ooh, that's what we need to get into. Okay. We have no probes. Okay, that's all right. We do have enough power to power up these boys. They are overworked. I understand that. We're working on it. We're expanding everything, so that shouldn't be a problem. And, ooh, we got one here. More than 33 crew members are injured. Proper functioning of the human body must be guaranteed. No, this is a distraction from more important tasks. We have 332 science. So now we've unlocked, we can unlock additional beds. I'm wondering if I shouldn't. Research speed is increased by 20%. I think that's pretty good right there. Oh, we haven't gone there yet. We're reached here. We've arrived at the ruined industrial zone. The view is intriguing. In addition to the general debris and bodies, there are large piles of previously molten metals that have solidified when the area was exposed to the vacuum of space. The zone has been ripped open and much of the interior appears to have been blown away. The structural tears extends to a storage area full of suspended yellow particles. We'll look for the source. I am intrigued by what I am seeing here. All right, we're going to work on faster tech. What we need to do... We have a decent amount of food left, which is good. I think... You know what? Let's not have them focus on that. Because we have so many other places going after it. Let's focus on silicone and carbon. Because that is going to allow us to get more probes going. Oh. Okay. Well, that's messed up. Wait, there was a severed body here for a second. That's gross. Oh my. Well, I can totally understand the issues that these people are talking about. Oh, and it's gone away. That's fine. But goodness gracious, yeah, I totally get it. It's just such a massive structure. It kind of just blows my mind by how big this is. All right. Well, we don't have the capabilities of doing another set of power stuff. And to be quite frank, we don't have great production cycles. But what we can do is we can use this this huge boost in alloy and stuff to start working on other things. One of those could be, I mean, honestly, we could build more factories. There's a waste treatment center. We could do 2 waste treatment centers, but I don't know if that would be worthwhile. Let's see. What else do we need to work on? We could build a cryogenic center. But honestly, I think we may do an insect farm over here. I'm trying to think of what the best use of everything would be. Because we do have stored bodies here. It might be best to do that. And we have a ton of bodies left. Yeah, let's go ahead and build a second cryonic center. It's only 5. That's not bad. The reactor wreckage. We've arrived at the site. Only 2 of the Entamenanki's massive reactors remain. Initial reconnaissance revealed 3 places of interest: the thrusters, the engine room, and the engine supervision area. We'll go with the supervision area first. Sounds good. We do need to send some electronics over once we make enough. Cool, we got that. Now it's just a matter of all of the alloy going over there. Okay, we are making a ton of food, finally. How are we doing here? We're at 1 happiness. Let's go ahead and juggle this for a little bit. We're going to do waste recycling. And that will allow us to build up waste here, which just allows us to work faster. That's just what it does. That's the huge benefit of that. All right, so we unlocked faster science. Oh. So now we can go to additional beds. And that should work much quicker. Yes, it should. Very cool. And then, yeah, we'll just get stuff transferred. We'll get stuff transferred. Waste, yeah, needs to, like, not go anywhere. It just needs to go here. So we can get it transferred to where it needs to be. Trapped in time and steel. That sounds gross. Team follow the trail of yellow particles through the vacuum to another section. It appears to have at least been partially spared from the destruction. Particles come from the crushed and damaged flowers of yellow squash. A bed of these frozen plants surrounds a large bronze sculpture, a depiction of Earth crowned with laurels. Many messages have been left near the sculpture, railing against the perceived enemies of humanity. Once again, Dolos and the Ashtongites. A plaque at its base reads, "Against the cynicism that kills hope, against the madness which precipitates hell, to perpetuate the genius of humanity and the memory of our life on Earth." There's a compartment beneath the plaque in which a sealed time capsule is found. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. So that's definitely creeping in on us. Like 100%. Let's go ahead and launch a probe here. And I think we're going to have to find tech that protects us. %10 faster would be great. We need to keep an eye on this stuff. A probe launcher, lens team, construction speed, no. I just have a feeling that it's going to keep creeping because it's definitely creeping on us. It was all the way back here. So we have a very limited time in which to collect resources and hang out. So what I'm actually going to do is we are going to focus on collecting carbon and water. Forget the hydrogen right now. We are going to focus on... Yeah, because there's not even any iron left. That's fine. Let's do this. Let's change our priorities and switch them fast. We're going to go after carbon. I actually don't know if we have carbon available for them to do. We're going to focus on gathering as many of those people as possible. And we're going to collect science real quick. The engine supervision area was mainly occupied by those of... excuse me, sorry. The engine supervision area was mainly occupied by those of rank. Some had time to enter cryopods. Analysis of remaining computer infrastructure indicates their directives were merciless towards the engine room workers. They treated them as expendable outcasts. There are traces throughout the entire supervisory district of hacking attempts. All ship computers dedicated to the engines were compromised, preventing the Entamenanki from maneuvering and causing power failures throughout the superstructure. The Heisenberg's team has managed to extract remnants of the computer protocols that were used to do this. These fragments of code point to an author, the BMS, that would be the Black Market Society. Relevant data has been sent to the Tycoon's tech lab for more detailed analysis. Let's go ahead and inspect the engine room. We'll see where that's going. We have data to analyze the hacking protocols. The associated research project can be launched in the tech lab. Hacking threat analysis unlocked for the Piranesi. Cool. I feel like we have other issues at hand at the moment. We need to dedicate some space to some bodies, which is a terrible thing to say. That's where we're at. Let's go ahead and dedicate that to bodies so we can fit more in there. All right, how are we doing? We're actually doing good. Additional beds solves all of our bed problems. Fantastic. I don't know that we need to research that just yet. I kind of want to focus on everything else as much as possible. Construction speed. What about these guys? Power cost was reduced by 2. Battery capacity. You know what? We need... Oh, we already got thermal regulation. Dang it. Okay, we need to unlock the next tier. Which I think is what we're going to have to do for sure. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. So let's go ahead and do the strengthening center for whatever reason. And then we'll move on from there. We're about to be done with the industrial zone. I still really need to figure out what we're doing with our life over here. There's something over here. That's of actual interest to our entire storyline. Back to the industrial zone. Inside the capsule were toys and everyday items. Several objects were of unknown purpose. A packet of newspaper clippings revealed some of what happened after the Tycoon first entered self-similar space. There was a total collapse of Earth's ecosystems, accelerated by the moon's destruction. In response, the United Nations installed a totalitarian government of planetary surveillance to protect the population from eco-terrorists and the continuous waves of pandemics. They prioritized corporate practices that supported the environment and its preservation. Individual responsibility seems to have become paramount. Numerous legal ramifications were implemented to counter any further acceleration of ecosystem destruction. In this time of crisis and guided by the government, society seemed to have turned on politicians, extremists, immigrants, and conspiracy theorists. One after the other, they portrayed them as possible scapegoats, holding them responsible for 250 years of industrialization, market disruption, superficial societal practice, moral decay, and hyper-consumerism. The Entamenanki was to be the great ark, the global project that would save humanity. Only those deemed well-behaved in the eyes of the government would be allowed on board. The Ashtongites, fanatics of mysticism, and proponents of genetic manipulation were left behind on Earth with deviants and dissidents. Self-cleaning lubricants upgrade for the waste treatment center. Interesting. Let's investigate the storage area. Let's take a look at the waste treatment center. Power cost is reduced by 5. That's nothing to be super crazy about. And I also forgot that we have new things here. We need to have 4 sectors unlocked, awaken 2,000 cryonic pods, store 500 ice, develop the countermeasure using the tech lab, build enough batteries so that at least 4 sectors will have backup power for 5 cycles. Good lord, that's a lot. That means we do need to start building more batteries. I'm trying to think of the most productive way to do that. Do that for now. The question is, do we have the conditions to unlock a new sector? I don't think we do. And even though we are rocking more people here, I don't think it's going to be enough. All right, two things. The reactor wreckage. The engines were not supported by a PA or even basic AI. Instead, crew members were constantly monitoring, adjusting, and repairing the engines and thrusters. Their living conditions were extremely precarious, and it would seem many were either prisoners or rejects from the population. Traces of writing were found within some dormitory cells referring to genetic conatus and the Ashtongites. There are records of several serious breakdowns before the final explosion. Crew members would work waist deep in coolant, some dying while performing their tasks within this toxic substance. Those who refused were executed by their... Wow. We'll investigate the thrusters, and we'll try and consider... We're going to avoid this. We're going to go ahead and avoid those. Crook P42 is eligible for colonization testing. That's what we could do. I know we have a colonization center. There it is. We have 25 colonists. We're going to train some more. Oh my word. Okay, cool. How many we got in here? We got 17 out of 20, which means we're doing something right overall. Trust is falling. That's just because Sector 1's angry. 5% of the population is starving? No, it's actually not. A good try to say it is, but it's actually not doing that at all.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right, ruins trapped in time and steel. We now have legislative strengthening center, but absolutely no place to put it. Like no place whatsoever. That's a little frustrating, but that's what we needed to do to work on that stuff. I'm still wondering if there isn't anything that I could do. 10% may not be that bad. Well, let's go ahead and work on it. Mushroom wall. We've got other things we have to work on. And the industrial zone wreckage. The storage area seems to have been the battleground for a large violent clash. Workers attempted to repel an invader using small firearms and improvised weaponry. Apart from the cutting laser marks across bodies and containers, there is no evidence that identifies the invader. We know who the invader is. Well, I guess we assume who the invader is. The large majority of the storage areas seem to have been emptied, but after some searching, the Medusa's team located a number of intact cryopods and resource containers. We're going to explore the industrial zone for now. Who is available to pick up that stuff? We'll have them go pick up those. These guys are not doing anything. Have them pick up bodies. All right, I see what they're saying. Because there's 64 food required, we can only put 60 in there. It'll still be fine. We're still consuming for 2 meals. I think we'll be okay. The Entamenanki seems capable of achieving 2 different types of propulsion. The intra-system mode of propulsion has many similarities to Dolos' EKP. Cross-referencing mission data reveals a number of matches to the encounter near Saturn. Oh, from the very get-go, during the Tycoon's initial test phase. Their inter-system propulsion covers many of the basic operations of the Vol engine. Our team has noted the remains of numerous accreditation areas. Access to and knowledge of the propulsion nodes seems to have been strictly regulated. 2 reactors were damaged at the same time as the larger superstructure, and our analysis has revealed traces of gluon particles. All right, well, okay, there we go. How far is it going? Okay, so it is creeping on us. So we have Crook P38 and we have Crook P42. How long would it, how many? Take 5 cycles. 5 cycles. Sector 1 has the capability of 1 single charge. Or half a cycle, rather. What can we get rid of over here? I think we have to dismantle this building. We've got to start working on more batteries here. Sector 2 has 2.4. Son of a biscuit. That's just a lot of wasted space here. We'll have to redo that sometime. We're going to build 2 there. We're working on building those up. Just dadgummit. Time and steel. The industrial zone itself is devastated. Both factory machinery and crew were covered by flying molten metal. As the metal solidified, grisly monuments were created. Sometimes, all that remains of a body is a cracked metal shell. Cryopods found this area have been covered by steel or compromised. The team was able to gather some information about the production methods. We'll leave the wreckage. We got to pay attention to these guys real good. Okay, but it appears that we have... Oh crap, it's moving again. Is it creeping? Okay, you know what I have to do? I'm going to have everyone come home. This is a really risky thing. But it'll also ensure that everyone gets home. We're going to have to move out. Everyone get back home. We'll risk the science ships. They're gathering as much science as possible. We do have probes. We're not going to be able to research that. We are going to, we're going to have to end up hip-hopping and skipping and going all the way over here. That's 5 cycles, and I don't have the capacity to handle that at the moment. That's not good. I'm going to pay attention to here. As soon as I can get these boys home, we're going to get these boys home. We're not going to worry about these 2 planets. It sucks. I don't know what was here. It may have been really good things. But I don't know that I can risk. I need as many of my ships as possible. We've lost 204 crew members. Even without being an expert in Dr. Munchie's crowd psychology theories, not escaped your notice that as the number of deaths increased, so too is the prevalence of dead Earth sickness. Yikes. Big ol' yikes. Come on. I just don't know if that thing's going to move. We are going to have to leave 168 of those. Okay, what I need you to do, back to the Tycoon. We need 1 more fire station to unlock the next level of stuff. I'm going to wait for him to go, and we are just going to go ahead and hip, hop, and skip across over to the closest place, which is frickin' flacking 5 cycles. And we are not ready for this. We are not ready for this at all. And in fact, I'm actually very legitimately nervous about this. But the good thing is we may be able to move outside of the floating spaces. I know it is. I know it is. 2 cycles there. 2.7 cycles there. Oh my word. This is like... Okay, what we can do... Like, we can go out and grab that. And I can actually just... This is what I should have done. New policy can be set in District 1. Cool. I can try and get everyone we can out of there. Awesome. That worked. I'm actually going to avoid this place. Get everyone home. I'm still hoping... Son of a biscuit. Sector 1, you're ticking me off, man. And we're out of water. Son of a biscuit. Okay, are we ready to tick off the entire population? I'm going to save it first. Alright, we've saved. We're out of water. Which is really bad news, bears. Can we... I didn't have them drill for water. Dadgummit. This is going to hurt. 5 cycles. We're going to see... We're going to go after the docking bay. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're moving through the storm. Trust is falling. Sector 6 is about to lose battery power. Sector 2 is doing okay. We've got failures everywhere. Our trust is just plummeting. We're halfway through. Sector 1 has been in the dark forever. I think we're going to make it through, but we're going to have some serious trust issues when we get there. Shh, son of a biscuit. Let's take a look. I get it. I get it. We're in the dark here as well. We're almost through. We're almost through. Oh my word. We're almost through.
Caution. Entering debris field.
Okay, we're out. All right. We're out. We're out. We're out. Trust is falling still. Perfect. Okay, so we should be through the storm. I think we had more time over there, but that's okay. We need to find water immediately. And that is priority number 1. Is there anything close? I don't want to get to that, but if we have to, then we do. That's actually a really good spot. Okay. We can finally breathe a little bit. I'm going to send the Medusa to the destroyed docking bay. We're going to go to the habitation sector wreckage. We are going to... We have to avoid all of this, or they will go after it. Oh my word. Well, we made the jump. That's fine. We're going to avoid this place. We're going to avoid this place for now. Who knows? We may be able to come back. But until I know for sure, we're going to keep it there. We've arrived on site. This part of the Entamenanki was a real piece of Swiss cheese. Paradoxically, there's little debris surrounding it. After a rapid survey, 2 areas of interest, a still accessible docking port and a communications area. Let's investigate the intact docking port. All right, so there is some positives here. Some very good positives. For one, we've completed the scan. There does seem to be a good deal of...
A science ship has arrived at
Cool.
its destination.
We are going to have both you guys go there. Pretty much everyone is going to prioritize water for now. We need water so we can survive because, yeah, we're running out of a lot of it. And we'll see if those guys will last. They should last. All right, cool. Habitation Wreckage Center. A section of the Entamenanki is drifting in the Crux system. A large amount of floating debris is present. That's right. We've entered the habitation sector. Many mutilated bodies and cryopods float in the void. We've been able to pinpoint the exact area of unusual readings. Recover the cryopods. We need to send out another survey. There's something out here. We'll go ahead and do that. And then everyone's going to bring the water in. Nice. And then that means we're going to get lots of ice in as well. Okay, Domotic Quarter houses 91 crew members and high quality... Oh, nice. All right, we've got lots and lots of other things to do here, but some of the more crucial things... 40% more crew members in each meal. I think that's what we need to do. Transforms 1 hydrogen into 10 power per cycle. That's pretty intense. We can have research increased by 20% more. The Stanford upgrade would actually be really good. The hull's deterioration while it's moving is reduced by 10%. There's so many good things here. Electronic costs required to unlock new sectors is reduced. Provides an additional 1 stability to a sector while it has more than 400. Absolutely. I believe all of them do. Almost all of them do. Okay, well, you're at optimal. You can have 20 extra people moved. These people are overworked, so let's go ahead and move 30 from Sector 1 to Sector 2. They're going to be only workers. Start that migration. We are going to train 15 more colonists. And everyone is going to start pushing ice to these sectors. You know what, actually? You can't even get ice. But you can grab silicone. You can grab these things. There you go. Alright, we're collecting science, which is fine. This is the Medusa's team. We're stationed near the docking port. It has accumulated a huge mass of debris. Broken vessels, corpses, damaged cryopods, all have been frozen to a horrible amalgam. Ships have entered the port too quickly, crashing inside while attempting to flee. The docking bay came under heavy projectile fire, which tore open the hull and breached the protective plating of the Entamenanki. We discovered an intact, unexploded BMS missile embedded in the wreckage. We should investigate it further. Let's investigate the communications area. Alright, we are slowly getting ice to this area. Awesome. So there shouldn't be an issue there. Let's go ahead. Oh, that takes one electronics too. What do we got going on? These have 64. Let's do this. Alloy 50. Let's go ahead and do 50. Oh no, we have a new request. Trust fell below 33%. Crew members who support your directives are in the minority. According to Mungie behavior predictions, if trust continues to fall, they'll seek harm to your physical integrity. We're going to try to bring it up to 50%. They are angry. Their population is starving. Okay, so we just need... We need to transfer more people out. We need to transfer 47. So let's transfer 50 of any crew from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Just so we can get them out of there. I get it, but we need to keep those people under 300 or 600. All right, we finished our evaluation of the cryopods, able to discover a large amount. They're ready for extraction. The recover area is horrifying. The body parts that float here are mostly from civilians. The dwellings within the habitation sector look more like slums than real housing. Population density must have been extremely high. Some bodies show clear signs of disease and malnutrition. We're going to push deeper into the structure to reach the source of the unusual readings. That is a lot there. We are going to deprioritize, especially these guys. Because we have 500 cryopods as it sits right there. And we're getting in loads and loads of ice. We're actually doing okay with food. Okay, and now we got our research done that allows us to push happiness a little bit further with our alternative life centers. And what we need to do here, I feel, is... I'm trying to think of the most optimal use. We actually might destroy the probe launcher and put the probe launcher in another sector. Do we unlock Sector 3 and put the probe launcher in there? Part of me kind of thinks we do. Production speed is increased by 33%. That's actually really freaking good. Crop farm. Crop produced 30% more waste. That's actually not a bad deal. Provides 1 stability to a sector, allows more than 800 crew. We're not quite there yet. $10 more space for beds. Solar panels increased by 5%. What would be of most use for us right now? That's what I want to know. Uses 50 ways to fulfill all water needs in a sector. Oh, that's a big one. Train station is one that we could use. Crew transfer allows for the expansion of some buildings' influence to all sectors. Oh, which ones? Okay, so here's an interesting thing as well. We have a lunicalism thing there, but we don't have one anywhere else. So they're only negative. They are happy though. Our trust is increasing slightly. We still have the global corpse field issue. Nothing here increases our stability outside of generous, which I still don't think we have the capacity to do. 100 injured crew from other sectors connected by train stations. 1 stability whilst the cults of the hulls propagating. 2 stability can be extended to each sector connected via train stations. Oh, that's a good one. Automatic harvesting of up to 4 algae plantations using a moderate amount of water to produce a large amount of food. There are so many things here. You know what? Let's do the tech lab. Let's get science research even quicker. And I think that will really help. And then, yeah, we're sucking the life out of food. Ruins, lethal weapon. Man, we still could have gone there. That kills me. The communications room is a theater of atrocities. Frozen, severed body parts float everywhere. Team found the Entamenanki had implemented a system of non-computerized communication in the battle. The UN crew had discovered that the messages they were sending and receiving via devices and hardware were being tampered with. This falsification of information caused a cascading series of accidents and prompted the move to a new comm system. Something was hacking or mimicking the Entamenanki's communication protocols perfectly. We'll attempt to defuse the missile so they can bring it safely back to Venusa. We're going to defuse the missile. I think that's probably the best thing to do. We do have... There's lots of hydrogen there, which we definitely could see the use for it now that we have the tech unlocked for it. There's a lot there. We've also discovered Crook P41. Telluric planet with a small quantity of water present as ice. Large black telluric formations. The atmosphere is heavy. Cloud cover. Storms envelop the planet, scouring it with solid aluminum rain. Eden has noted a formation of particular interest. Interesting. What does it take to slap a probe launcher in this place? I think it takes a little too much. But what we can do is we can open up Sector 5.
A science ship team has completed a task.
If we open up Sector 5, we can build all the things that increase stability and go do the things that will allow the train station to have happiness. And Sector 1's our most problematic. So if we can boost that up, look at that. We're actually, ooh, 4% every cycle. We should be able to get that, which is awesome. When you have 4 sectors unlocked, we're not doing very well on that front. Let's override these locks and see where it takes us. The habitation sector, making progress through the metal debris that lies everywhere has been difficult. The Entamenanki is constructed from a range of extremely strong alloys. We have come to an area of fallen debris which forms a precarious cave. 2 paths onward are possible. We can pass through a large section of pipe that's been laser cut. Temperature analysis of the cuts indicate they happened some time ago. Alternatively, there's a reinforced tunnel leading away from here. Its sides are covered in bullet holes. We continue to use the drilling rig, but one of these paths will surely save us time. Yeah, we're just going to drill ourselves. That something tells me that's not a good idea. Probes have completed a scan. Awesome. Yeah, that's quite a bit. We should definitely go ahead and do that. And then we can work on those next. You'll pick all of that up. Once that ice has been removed, which we're still working on it. We got as much ice as possible, but we need much, much more. Let's go ahead and store this as ice. And that way we can bring in more. And then at the destroyed docking bay, we've managed to defuse the missile. The tech contained is not only more advanced than that aboard the Tycoon or even the Entamenanki, but is of a structure and logic belonging to a completely different scientific paradigm. We've transmitted data and schematics to the Tycoon Tech Lab. We'll leave the wreckage. They'll get that rolling. That's very interesting. I assume, of course, assumptions can be bad, that that's from the Black Market Society, which means they have definitely been tampering with stuff. Where's IXION? Apparently I don't see it. That's okay though. Happy, negative. We are happy here. We now have enough data to analyze Piranesi missile tech. Very nice. Set up countermeasures to protect ourselves. Missile threat analysis upgrade for the Piranesi. Very cool. We'll do both of those soon, but also look how fast we start researching now. That's going to be very crucial for us. We're working on some good countermeasures for food production, because it's a bit disastrous at the moment. And we have loads of iron to work with here. There we go. I knew it would happen eventually, and hopefully that storm just like continues completely out of the system, as I'd like to go back and try and get them, but I don't know if it'll be possible. All right, we're gonna move the Medusa over to the medical district and the habitation sector. Great. It took time to get through the wreckage, but we've reached the area in the readings. There's a small shelter cobbled together from surrounding debris. Within it, a number of broken drones, shaped like deep sea creatures, float in the lack of gravity. They bear signs, the BMS logo of the Black Market Society. This is the first time we've seen machines like these. We've transmitted schematics and data and proposed further analysis of the drones be conducted. Within a small recess at the back of the shelter, we found the corpse of an Entamenanki soldier with a now spent breathing device. They had tried to modify one of the broken drones to produce an improvised heat source. He's been dead for several days. So this is probably like a recent attack. The weak radio signal was transmitting from their suit's emergency beacon. We presume an attempt to contact other survivors. Agents of death. Oof. So intriguing. Oh my word, there's a lot to process here. We need to look for some more ice. Is there any in large quantities? We're already going after a science thing there. I'm wondering if there's any ice and stuff closer. There we go, that works for me. Now what do we got? We have enough data. Oh, nice. We're really gonna be able to countermeasure them very effectively. Let's go for just a little while longer. We discovered a new point of interest, Crook P43, with the one our team identified in the Rokitansky comet in the Immortun system. Interesting. That's the one where our ship disappeared. All right. We've arrived at the site. We estimate 2/3 of the district is missing. Remnants of cooling pipes have generated a haze, and the debris hides the floating corpses. We've identified 2 viable areas for investigation: the ruins of a research facility and an area devoted to medical care. We're going to investigate the medical district. I wonder if we couldn't move over there. Let's move over there. We'll end the episode there because that haze hides the corpses. That's what I'm most interested in. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll move and call an episode good there. Now we have the tech. Now those guys won't last, but we have 3.4 there, 2 point whatever there. And maybe, just maybe, we can reduce... What? There is no debris field here. Okay, there we go. We now have 4 sectors unlocked as well. The medical district's in ruins. The team had to stop several times to clear away debris. Violent clashes appear to have taken place. Seems even before the attack, the medical capacity was oversubscribed. Recovered data suggests congestion within the ship's care centers worsened over time. The team was able to recover a number of intact cryopods. We'll do the research facility. But goodness gracious. we've got a lot of stuff to work through. That storm has completely engulfed that previous area. Both of our teams are working as best they can. I actually think the Heisenberg's ready to rumble and move over to the depressurized R&D district. We're not doing too bad, but we should have escaped. We should have escaped the corpses. Apparently not. So that was dumb. But it is what it is. We have unlocked Sector 5, and it does look like we can automatically see everything that we need to do to this place to get it up and running. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have some issues with getting this place up and running without running out of power. And so, if that's the case, we actually don't have the capabilities of doing that. Solar panels, production's increased by 5%. We can rock it there. Building is inactive as the total number of workers is below the required minimum of 30. Let's go ahead and shift 20 people, workers from Sector 2 to Sector 5. We'll start that migration. And we should be good to start working over there. We're still down. Oh my word. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Let's go ahead and shut off. Well, no, because... yeah, we'll shut off that. We don't have any carbon out there yet, so we'll do that. Cool. Once this gets made, we'll be right as rain. And plus, we'll be able to kick it back up once we get that done. Ruins and doctors. Okay. Man, there's so much. I don't want to stop. Sector 6 is angry? Okay, yeah, they're ticked. Heat recovery has allowed us to do extras. We're going to increase food production again for the crop farms, and that might be able to help us. We're going to take a look at the medical district and the other one, and then we'll be done for the day. The facility's been constructed from more resilient materials and alloys than other parts of the ship. Most of its outer structure remains. A lot of the internal hardware does seem to have been laser cut and ripped out. Our team was able to extract some information from the remaining data consoles. A sealed stasis box was discovered containing what can be described as a test subject. Having reviewed associated research reports, the team believed the experiment used Ashtonite technology and genetic material taken from charred leaves. Subject ZY6073, as named on the outside, appears to be alive but dormant. This could be awful, but we're going to retrieve him. That could be bad. All right, transmission. This is the crew of the Heisenberg. This section of wreckage is massive. We believe it's the remains of a research and development district. The labs we've seen look virtually destroyed. We did find an intact security room. A sign above its entry rate reads Orn 8. To access the room, we'll need power from the Tycoon via the RTP. Unfortunately, specific accreditation is also required to open the room's armored door. The neighboring residential areas collapsed, making the balance of this area unstable. We spotted some emergency cryopods within the debris, though it doesn't look like there was enough time for a full evac. Yeah, we'll search the residential area. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be where we end this. Good Lord Almighty, this is an intense episode. We were able to negate the storm, which could have been really, really bad for us. But now that it's gone, we can research certain things and go after lots of resource production in areas that we couldn't really hit before, which is awesome. We've also discovered a few more planets. And like I said, maybe eventually this will move beyond the system and we'll be all right and well off enough. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give the video a like, sub to the channel, leave your comments in the comment section down below. This is Havoc. And we'll wait for the next episode, of IXION.